media day for the upcoming men's basketball season. Arizona, USC, and UCLA will pick to finish 1, 2, and 3 in the conference. Still no word yet on when USC freshman Bronny James will be cleared to start practicing with the team. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
On October 12, 2022, Nuri Martinez resigned from the Los Angeles City Council. This came a few days after the world heard Nuri and other elected members of the council speak disparagingly about black people, indigenous people, and others.
This white guy with this little black kid bouncing off the effing walls on the floor. There's nothing you can do.
And what participants believe was a private conversation, racism, colorism, homophobia, and bigotry were exposed like never before. The effort to undermine the political influence of black fellow citizens was specifically targeted by these so-called leaders. Everyday people stormed the doors of City Hall demanding immediate resignations. Even the President of the United States called for resignations. On Thursday, October 12th, 5 to 7 p.m., KBLA Talk 1580 will host a day of dialogue on the anatomy of anti-black racism and bigotry in Los Angeles with an all-star panel of civic leaders. Don't miss this conversation. Thursday, October 12th, live from 5 to 7 p.m. with an encore performance from 7 to 9 p.m. only on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
First things first.
Things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule, 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not 2 and 7. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. First. Me and Dominique DiPrima go way back. Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DiPrima. Go sis.
First things first.
I'm Dominique DiPrima. This show is called First Things First, and my first thing every single day, giving thanks, giving praises, asking for blessings from the Most High, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders. And let's go. Happy Thursday. Let's do this. We have a lot to talk about. This is what we do. Hour one, we look to the left coast, what's going on locally. And you're always welcome to call in at 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. Hour two, we go national, international, and beyond. And in the third hour, we do a deep dive with a hot topic or a person of interest. And today we're pretty much sticking to the script. You are always, always, always invited in. 800-920-1580. Today for hour three, we're going to take on the hot topic of what's going on in the Middle East, the conflict with Israel and Hamas. Not just the conflict, but the context. How did we get to where we are, and what is the history of this conflict? How do we go forward? Dr. James Lance Taylor will be joining me. He's a political scientist. He should be able to clear up any confusion. Maybe not. I mean, this is a very nuanced and complex issue that we have to be well versed on right now. And even though it seems overwhelming, daunting, and very polarizing, to be more clear in our role on the international stage, us as citizens of one of the most powerful nations in the world. So that'll be coming up in hour three. Hour two, I'll be joined as a partner in politics by Dr. Melina Abdullah. hour one, we also have a partner in politics. So that means you're going to get in where you fit in. Just call me anytime and join the kitchen table conversation. 800-920-1580. I'm pleased to welcome for hour one a partner in politics who I've never had the opportunity to meet yet. He's a student at Puget Sound University in Tacoma, but he's from the city of Compton, graduated from Upland High School, now double majoring in sociology and anthropology along with psychology. He's also a young leader with the Young Life Christian community and has been engaged in ministry work since his sophomore year. Compton's own Guy Crawford, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm blessed. How are you?
I couldn't get to sleep. I was trying to go to sleep last night, but I was a little bit too excited for this morning. So I got some rest in. I got some water in my system, and God woke me up today, and so it's already a good day. So I'm ready to get this thing started.
Absolutely. That's what I do actually every morning before I get on the air. I usually try to drink a lot of water to wake my brain up. So that was a good move. But interestingly enough, and I'm glad you're excited, by the way, to do the show. That's wonderful. But interestingly enough, you guys reached out to us at KBLA. Actually, your school did, the University of Puget Sound, and said, we have a student who's come up with a project, presented research that is worthy of a national media platform like KBLA, and we'd like to get him on the air. That's something that rarely happens, but I'm always, always, always looking for more young voices to give new generations perspectives on what's going on, where we are, and where we're going. So I'm so glad you guys reached out, Guy Crawford.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a pleasure. It's definitely an honor, and I'm so happy that we got everything together.
Okay, so let's start with your journey. Compton and the whole region of South LA has so many stereotypes about it, and that stereotype does not include a young student who is the apple of the eye, I guess, of the University of Puget Sound or any other university. Tell me about your journey to college. So many of our young people don't even make it down that road.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I have a lot to. First of all, glory to God, right? A lot of things that
Always.
happened. A lot of things that happened, I couldn't possibly see happening, and then he worked miracles after miracle and stuff like that. And so first of all, give glory to Him. Second, my parents, man. I got my mom and my dad on the. I know they're listening right now, bro. Man, you want to talk about some
What's up,
parents and
Mom?
make sure
What's up, Dad?
You want to talk about some parents who made sure that the kid had it right. My mom from an early age, she always had the best for us when it came to education, so that she was not taking anything less than what she knew that we can do, and she know that she had some brainiacs of some sons, all four of us. So from an early age, she already knew what we can do, and I'm really happy that I have a mom like her. And then you talk about my dad. Oh my goodness, he made sure that we had everything too, whether that be driving us to school, or that be buying stuff for us, or that be taking us to any kind of thing. I always find it so funny, my mom was always the super loud one at our football games, at our award ceremonies and stuff like that. And our dad was the quiet one. And so you have to kind of look in the crowd for my dad. But I mean, you already knew that dad was going to be there. He was going to be chilling out in the corner section, just looking at nothing but you, because that's all they care about, right? And so just like early age, I always had my life trajectory set up just like for the best education I possibly could, and that's also what I wanted too. So I'm really happy that I did that. But then high school, well, COVID hit, so my sophomore year got cut short, and I didn't even have a junior year. And then we came back in our senior year. So it was really rough trying to balance grades and outside I was still playing football, and just also the weight of the world kind of stopping for a good 2.5 years. So it was all just a mix of things, but like I said, glory to God and thanks to my parents for being able to get me through, and all the other people who helped me out. And so and then you want to talk about college, how I got to college, right? It's just my brother, he is a phenomenal, I don't even know what you would like. His name is Christopher Logan. He's like a college entry counselor, and so he's doing everything for all these different students, helping them with SATs, helping them with ACTs, helping them with admission letters and stuff like that. And he did the same thing for me. He had all these schools for me. Puget Sound was one of them. He also had Arizona State, University of Arizona. He had Willamette. He had some UCs and stuff like that. But I looked at Puget Sound, and for some reason I couldn't shake me want to go to Puget Sound. Right? That's always why I tell people God, put it on my heart to go to Puget Sound, because there was relatively nothing that Puget Sound offered that other schools didn't, and it also was a lot more expensive school to go to. But for some reason I couldn't shake me I need to go to Puget Sound. Told my brother, he said absolutely not. Your grades aren't good enough. And you don't have any football tape, because I'm gonna be honest, I was a bench warmer for all my senior year. I had an injury. I'll be honest about it. I was a bench warmer. I got in when we were blowing people out. That was about it. I had an injury in my junior year on Halloween. Took me from a second string starter on varsity to a backup on JV all through the year. But but glory to God that happened, because in that time I got a lot more closer with them than I probably would have ever had if I would just continue playing football. So I'm a lot more happy with how things turned out. But I was a bench warmer, and so I didn't even have any film. Some brothers you can't get into that school. And so I was like, okay. But I still want to go. So I prayed for it, and I prayed for it. And I don't even know what I tried to do. I was just trying to do everything. And then at one point I was like, okay, I've done everything I can. God's going to have to fill in the rest. And then I got a call one Wednesday night at my dad's house. I was chilling, and it was the defensive coordinator of Puget Sound football, and he told me that he wanted me to come play for them. And I was just like, what? I don't have any film. I didn't tell him this, right? Because I didn't want to spoil my chances. So I was like, in my head, I was like, I don't have any film. I'm gonna reach out to y'all about football. How do you see me, right? And he's like, I'll get you with admissions. We'll give you a smooth ride on in. And I was like, that sounds amazing. And then miracle right out of nowhere. But then there's a second one. I was we didn't have enough financial aid for me to go there, because the school is $72,000 to go there last year.
Wow.
Minus all the books, minus travel, minus everything like that. It was $72,000 to go there. And with the scholarship I had, it was still going to be $50,000 to $40,000 to get there. And it was a little bit over $40,000 to still go there. And so my parents are just like, look, there's another school. They're only going to make you pay $9,000. let's go to that one. I was like, I can't go to that one. I need to go to Puget Sound. Like it was just I feel like
Hilarious.
I need to go to Puget Sound. And like I kept praying about it, and then one day I got an alumni scholarship out of nowhere. $20,000 brought us all the way down to like $22,000, and then I got a work study job here, which brought down to like $18,000. And so like God just like dropped another miracle, and at that point it was feasible for us to go. And I looked at my mom and I was like, we're going to the Northwest.
Well, congrats to you. I hope you'll say a prayer for KBLA. Apparently, you have a pipeline to the Most High, and that's a great thing. But Guy Crawford, the reason the university reached out to us, even though I'm sure they're delighted with your football playing, was about a research project on your own city, the city of Compton. We'll find out what that is, what it's all about, what you learned about Compton when we come forward. We're talking with Guy Crawford, who is now, as you know, at the University of Puget Sound. You're listening to KBLA. This is a place where we amplify Black and progressive voices around the clock. KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Hustle up, we've got 8 more floors to go before lunch.
Sarusha's window washing business is reaching new heights.
Wipe, and let's roll.
They need more certified cleaners to keep online reviews crystal clear.
Team, I know we're hustling, but watch for streaks. Candace, can you give me a hand over here?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
King C. Gillette knows you're dedicated to your barbershop routine. But what about after? What's your routine for facial hair to avoid dry skin, itching, and beard rough? Well, the King C. Gillette Beard Oil is a perfect fit for making your beard feel as good as it looks. It softens your facial hair and moisturizes to help prevent itch due to dry skin. Get facial hair that feels as good as it looks. Just trim, wash, and soften. With King C. Gillette.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Ray Richardson, your sports connection here at KBLA Talk 1580. Join me and my co-host Neil Scarborough every Saturday night at 7 for Out of Bounds, the show that brings some flavor to the world of sports for 60 minutes. We take you beyond the scores and press conferences. We give you our point of view, the way Black folks see what's going down. You can join the conversation and give us your analysis at 1-800-920-1580. Out of Bounds every Saturday night at 7 on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
You like the style, though.
For all of us, this generation and the next, there is simply no place in our lives for litter. And yet, it's everywhere we look. And unfortunately, it does belong to all of us. So, let's come together and create a litter-free, clean California, once and for all. Remember to properly dispose of your trash and recycling. Secure truckloads with tarps to keep debris from flying out. Clean out your car when you're at a gas station. Take pride in your community by organizing a cleanup event. Or join a cleanup event near you. Zero litter is the goal. Join us at cleanca.com. That's cleanca.com. Let's do it together. Brought to you by Caltrans. cleanca.com.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Right now, we're really getting back to Guy Crawford. What a success story. Young man from the city of Compton, now representing on the phone today on KBLA, Puget Sound University, where he is a student. They reached out to me because of a research project you did about your own city, Compton. It's called The Bubble of Safety, an oral history of Poinsettia Avenue. What is that about, and what did you find It's so rare to be able to go back and do a deep dive into our own roots.
So basically, like the entire project is just about why this neighborhood in Compton is so safe. The question kind of spawned from a class that I was in called Intro to Anthropology. It was taught by Professor Andrew Gardner. He's great professor. I would me and him super close. He's one who was the academic kind of like advisor for me on this own research project, and so he was phenomenal. And we were doing a reading called Social Infrastructure in class, and it was about the safe places in communities that kind of make it more, I guess, able to be safe, to be very communal, and so that make it safe for people to care about each other and stuff like that. And I was thinking about that in Compton, more specifically Poinsettia, and I was like, well, Poinsettia doesn't have any parks. Poinsettia doesn't have any coffee shops, right? It's a neighborhood street. And what does it have that makes it so safe? And so I wanted to find out what that was. And so, happy to go back home, happy to go back to my mom. And through all the research, through all the interviews I did with other people, through all, the pictures that were taken, everything, I found out that there isn't an answer. Which is it's like, I think it's my favorite thing to tell people, like, there isn't an answer. And the reason that there isn't an answer is because so I did research in other safe neighborhoods in dangerous cities, and specifically I did it in Chicago, and I viewed neighborhoods called Old Town, Lincoln Park, and West Loop in Chicago, because like we all know, like, Chicago is like, well, can be a very dangerous city at times, but it still has these very safe neighborhoods in it. I want to know why were those neighborhoods so safe. The reason that West Loop specifically was so safe is because there's a lot of young entrepreneurs coming in with either old money or new money, and they're between the ages of, say, like 22 and like 35. They're coming in with new money or old money into a neighborhood. They want to either plant their families, they want to plant their businesses, or they want to plant both. And they go there, and they're just like, okay, I need this to be a safe space for me. And they also have the capital, the money to do so. And so there's coffee shops, there's fitness studios, there's parks, there's like piano sidewalks everywhere and stuff like that. Like, there's all these things that help build community, right? And I was like, okay, we all know that Compton doesn't have that. Okay, we all know that that's not what Compton is at all. So, yeah.
I said not yet.
No, not yet, and we don't know what the future holds yet. But then I look back at Compton and I was like, okay, why is Poinsettia so safe? Like, there's no new young entrepreneurs. Most of these people are retired and living, like, they're either retired from vets, they're either retired from I know, like, we have retired mailmen and mailwomen there. Like a lot of people are retired, they don't work anymore. So how did they get so safe? And what I found in Poinsettia, what I found from the people and what the people told me themselves was, it's safe because we have kind of cultivated a community of safety. I interviewed Mr. and Mrs. Howard, who live on Poinsettia, 2 doors down from my mom, and right, like, Mr. and Mrs. Howard say that, like, they've been on the block since the early 70s. They have brought their kids up. They've seen people move out. They've seen people move in. They always wanted to keep a safe space for new families, for existing families, for kids, for kids coming back from college like myself, right? They always said, like, we want to keep that a safe space. And so everyone new who comes in, we make sure that, like, everyone knows how safe the spaces is. And we also let them know how like, important it is to keep it safe. You go to Mrs. Asia, the former mayor of Compton, and her husband Van Brown. When I did an interview with them, they are in community still all around Compton. Whether that be school board meetings, whether that be like planting new shops and stuff like that, anything like that, they are all in it, still helping and cultivating community in their way, because, you know, obviously with zero disrespect, they're younger than Mr. and Mrs. Howard, and so they're doing it in like a lot more not traditional, my fault, a lot more in a lot more contemporary and modern way. Same thing with Mr. LaRon and Mrs. Crystal, the next door neighbor to Mrs. Asia and Mr. Van. They've literally been here since the very first day of COVID. They fully moved in as soon as quarantine hit, and they lived throughout all of quarantine on that block. Didn't even think about moving. And now they have children, and now they're just like, we need to make Compton not only Poinsett, we need to make Compton like a safe space for our kids. How are we going to do that? So they're working hand in hand with everyone who is willing to, especially Mrs. Asia and Mr. Van. So it's just like it's the culture. There aren't coffee shops yet. There are parks, but like the parks aren't fully what we need them to be yet. Things are going to get better. Things can get better. We have people who want them to get better, and we have people who have the hands and minds to make them better. That's why it's just a matter of time for more people to be bought into to that idea. It's just a matter of time for more people to start getting their hands dirty and stuff like that. You know, one of my absolute favorite things that Mr. and Mrs. Howard told me, I asked them, like, is Poinsett or Compton ever going to get to what it used to be? Because when they lived on it, was like still kind of relatively safe. And they said, no, absolutely not. Those people aren't here anymore to make it like that. So I was like, oh, huh?
Well, no, we're about to go into news, traffic, and sports right here. But it sounds like, in a way, you say it's the culture that makes it safer, the people that make it safer. We always say on this radio station that we make us safe. It's community. It is actually the network of neighbors, friends, business owners, and longtime residents that make communities safer and individuals safer. And it sounds like that's what you found. I'm going to get your comment on that when we come forward. You're listening to Unapologetically Progressive, KBLA, Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
We welcome you to a Thursday. It's October 12th. I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. In California, a San Francisco judge is signing off on a massive Facebook privacy settlement. The social media giant agreed to pay $725 million to settle claims that it violated users' privacy. This week, a judge overruled objections to the settlement and gave it his final approval. In Alabama, State Representative John Rogers is scheduled to appear in Birmingham federal court today for an arraignment hearing. The African-American Birmingham Democrat is charged with 2 counts of obstruction of justice in an indictment that accuses him and 2 others of taking part in an alleged kickback scheme involving state funding for a youth baseball league. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Wendy's new pumpkin spice frosty is peak fall. It'll make any kind of fall fun even fallier. So no matter how you fall, grab a rich, creamy pumpkin spice frosty from Wendy's today. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Vanilla frosty is temporarily unavailable.
Escape with the best stories of the year on Audible. Hear celebrity memoirs, mysteries, true crime, sci-fi, and more. Ignite your imagination with audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com.
Is this the tiger? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
It happened again. For the second straight year, the Dodgers win 100 games in the regular season, then get eliminated in their first playoff series. The Dodgers lose by 2 last night and got swept by the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Dodgers were also on the wrong end of history. Lance Lynn gave up 4 home runs in the third inning, the first time a team had that many homers in one inning in a playoff game. Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman, the Dodgers' best hitters, were combined 1 for 21 in the series. Mookie was 0 for 11. The Pac-12 Conference had media day for the upcoming men's basketball season. Arizona, USC, and UCLA were picked to finish 1, 2, and 3 in the conference. Still no word yet on when USC freshman Bronny James will be cleared to start practicing with the team. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
The City of Los Angeles Civil Rights Department and its Reparations Advisory Commission are calling on you to be a part of something powerful. Join the Black Experience Study to share your experiences with the City of Los Angeles. We want to hear your stories. To join the study, join a focus group, or schedule an interview with us, visit www.blackexperiencela.com by December 31st. For more information, call 213-978-1845 or visit www.laisforeveryone.com.
At City National, we listen to you.
I want to expand my business and my legacy.
I want to set up the next generation for success.
I want to see my vision come to life.
I want to feel right at home. Your goals, passions, vision, future. We want to hear it and work alongside you to achieve it. Visit cnb.com to learn more. City National Bank. Here for our clients and communities.
What's up? I'm Danelle Riley, FAMU alumni and creator of the HBCU Culture Shop. I am so proud of my new partnership with Black Beyond Measure and Target. They help me elevate community pride with my HBCU designs and continue to support Black creators and entrepreneurs with Target HBCU challenges, scholarship programs, and campus collaborations. Let's come together this homecoming season and beyond. Shop my brand and discover other Black-owned products at target.com/blackbeyondmeasure.
The Green Foundation, key health influencer, empowering our Black communities through action. The Green Foundation advocates for affordable health care, accessibility, and knows the importance of culturally relatable health care. Regardless of income, we believe it is a right for optimum health. The Green Foundation has been at the forefront for 25 years, dedicated solely to promoting prevention through early detection, annual screenings, and nutrition. We know you because we are you. Our hand-holding approach supports you and your family to receive your right to be treated fairly and receiving quality healthcare services. We want you and your family to know COVID-19 was devastating to our families and to our wallet. We can build back better by understanding prevention, wearing your mask, washing your hands, social distancing, and understanding the impact of long COVID. Get the care you deserve. Take advantage of your privileges. Contact us, info@thegreenfoundation.net. info@thegreenfoundation.net.
To some, this might sound like a typical family dog. But at Dog Chow, we know that for a veteran suffering from PTSD, this could be the sound of life-saving therapy.
Thanks, Betty.
That's why we've made it our mission to connect every military hero in need with a canine hero of their own. To learn about the simple ways you can help Dog Chow in our mission, visit dogchow.com/veterans.
Girl, I have a secret. When I get stressed out, I get sweaty. That's why I use Secret Clinical Antiperspirant. It's like my own secret weapon. For 72 hours, I get Secret's strongest protection against sweat caused by stress, heat, and activity, because you know how crazy life can get. Plus, it's made with advanced odor fighters that don't just cover up smelliness. They help prevent it from happening in the first place. Believe me, if I weren't wearing Secret, I'd be a hot, smelly mess. Thankfully, Secret works.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right, yeah. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency on low Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face when it smells just right.
Did you know Vistaprint prints everything a small business needs? Like if a barbershop needs signage, we print outdoor signs, posters, and banners. Or if a ballet school needs merch,
1, 2,
we print tote bags, t-shirts, hoodies, hats. Or if a coffee shop needs a total refresh,
latte for Mike?
Vistaprint designs logos and prints it on menus, mugs, paper bags, anything. Because with Vistaprint, the printabilities are endless. Print it all with 25% off for new customers with code NEW25 at Vistaprint.com.
In Big Tobacco's Fantasyland, children are the future. Here, tobacco companies are committed to higher education, offering scholarships to students who submit essays about the benefits of vaping. The tobacco industry even sponsors summer camps for kids. Don't worry, the tobacco-sponsored programs have been linked to leaving your kids more interested in smoking. In Big Tobacco's Fantasyland, the world's deadliest industry is your child's friend.
See reality at undo.org.
For all of us, this generation and the next, there is simply no place in our lives for litter. And yet, it's everywhere we look. And unfortunately, it does belong to all of us. So, let's come together and create a litter-free, clean California, once and for all. Remember to properly dispose of your trash and recycling. Secure truckloads with tarps to keep debris from flying out. Clean out your car when you're at a gas station. Take pride in your community by organizing a cleanup event. Or join a cleanup event near you. Zero litter is the goal. Join us at cleanca.com. That's cleanca.com. Let's do it. Together. Brought to you by Caltrans. cleanca.com.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I got hustle, though, ambition, flow inside my DNA. I was born like this and born like this, immaculate conception. I transform like this, perform like this, wish out you a new weapon. I don't contemplate, I meditate, then off your head. This that put the kids to bed. This that I got realness, I just kill shit cause it's in my DNA. I got millions, I got riches building in my DNA. I got dark, I got evil that rot inside my DNA. I got off, I got trouble, some heart inside my DNA. I just win again, then win again like Wimbledon I serve. Yeah, that's him again, the sound that engine in is like a bird. You see fireworks and Corvette tires skirt the boulevard. I know how you work, I know just who you are. See, use it. Your hormones probably switches.
KBLA Talk 1580. Speaking of the city of Compton, our guest this morning, Guy Crawford. He is a student at Puget Sound University, and he is from the city of Compton. It's interesting. We were talking about your research and what makes neighborhoods safe, or even just one block within the neighborhood. What can elevate that? What can keep individuals feeling connected to that community and loyal to it generation after generation? I said, Guy, that we always talk about how we make us safe. It's the people. You called it the culture. Is it the same thing?
Absolutely. It's the exact same thing.
So how do we build that kind of community, that connectivity that makes us safer?
You care about each other. I mean, like, I think some great examples of it is like, say, like my mom and Van Brown, Asia Brown's husband. They always are, I don't know, on the lookout for each other. Whether that be in the past, still present, keeping crime off our streets, and whether that had been drug dealing, whether that had been, like soliciting, whether that had been like prostitution, like keeping that off our streets, keeping that away from like the children on the streets and stuff like that. Whether it be bringing food over and stuff like that, right? Like this is all people, and you can have people without a culture, but you cannot have a culture without people.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So, Sam, you are a sociology anthropology student, right?
Mm-hmm.
it's just not the kind of thing you hear a lot of folks talking about. Oh, when I grow up, I'm going to be a sociologist, an anthropologist. Talk to me about what drew you into that and how that title applies to this work that you've done in the city of Compton.
It got drew to me because I want to be a pastor. After I'm done with college, and I knew that like if I wanted to learn more about how to know more about people, college was the best place to go to. Sociology and anthropology. Sociology is just like the study of different societies and the inner workings of them, and anthropology is like the study of like different cultures and whatnot. And I thought that would be great for me to be a pastor. And so that's why I got due to it. And, you know, pertaining to like the actual project itself, that's what sociology and anthropology is. Like when I went back into Compton, I'm going into familiar territory, but I'm also going in there as both, you know, a resident and an anthropologist. And so just going in there, seeing the inner workings, seeing my own culture be brought to like more, I guess, academic words and stuff like that, to like just seeing it from that perspective. It helped a lot in conducting the entire summer research project.
That's a smart approach. I'm going to be a pastor to the people. Let me learn about them in a academic setting, learn about the people, learn about the place, and then go back and be a shepherd of it.
Yeah.
That's an interesting approach. So how do you perceive your city, your beloved city of Compton? It's interesting how you have gone to school and then focused back on where you come from, even though you're saying your plan is to be a pastor. It sounds like you have a lot of passion for your hometown.
Yeah, I mean, like it's where my nana lived. You know, like she's still a huge influence on me. Whether that be religiously or just as a band and stuff like that. What I've learned from her. My mom lives there right now. It's where I spend a lot of my summers at and stuff like that. So it's just it's just so, I guess, home for me that it's hard to not have passion for it. And like, especially after conducting the summer research project, it's hard to not have even more passion for it, seeing where it can go, seeing the growth that it's taken right now. So it's excitement, I guess you would say. It's excitement to get back into like the inner workings of it and just see it grow more and more.
When you were talking about these young entrepreneurs that go into many communities, like what you had seen in Chicago, starting coffee shops, starting different kinds of enterprises, bringing new and old money into the community and leveraging it to create hubs of activity, connectivity, community that make those places safer. How does that play into this idea of gentrification, Guy Crawford, where we do see some of our neighborhoods being so-called revitalized, but the original residents or long-time neighborhood residents are pushed out?
Like I think that it plays into it a lot. When it comes to gentrification, like back in like the 50s, 60s, and 70s in Compton, when all like the new black families, when they started getting money and stuff like that, when they weren't just being kind of pressed down and pressed out, like white flight took place, right? And a lot of the long-standing white residents of Compton started to leave because a lot more black families were starting to come in. And like, you know, we take a look at Chicago and stuff like that, right? And like these places where people are coming with new money, it is predominantly white. Like yes, there are some minority families or just like minority individuals moving in to that place, but a lot of it is gentrification. But I also don't I always try to look at it as is it gentrification in a racist systematic way, or is it just a race of people moving in, and it could be either one. If you look at it from black and white face value, sometimes it is definitely racist gentrification. Sometimes it's people when they're moving in. I hope that Compton does get more money into it, that our school systems do get more money into it. That's going to come from not only the voices of the people of Compton, but also people like me who want to help it out, who want to make it better and stuff like that. We don't need new people moving in. We don't need outside help and stuff like that. We need strengthening of communities inside Compton right now.
Yeah, it's well said. I do think at a certain point, though, Guy, we have to ask the question, does it matter if it's systematized racism or exclusion of Black people, BIPOC people from these communities, or whether the net result is the same, that when more white folks or more upscale so-called residents move in, longtime community residents are often pushed out? I think if people were just moving in, making their investment, expanding the community, and everyone that was already there got to stay, no one would be tripping about it. But the fact that many times that money and those businesses moving in is a precursor to us being forced out, I think that's where the problem comes in.
Yeah, definitely.
So that, I guess, that community connectivity could be one way of pushing back on that, because it makes people want to stay in those neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And fight for them.
Yeah, good communities invite people in. That's what I've learned from Tacoma, right? Tacoma is very inviting to people, new people who want to move in, new people who want to invest in the city. Tacoma is super inviting to people. There is already a culture here built in Tacoma. They're not they're not saying, hey, keep everyone out. We want to raise our own culture and community here. We don't want any outsiders, and they're also not being moved out by new people moving in. They're inviting everyone into it. I think that that is amazing community and culture right there. Is when you can get more people bought into the idea of a city or a neighborhood or just community in general, and the people who have been there are still there, and new people are wanting to get in on it.
Yeah, it's a good point. What did you learn in your research for this presentation that you did on the city of Compton? It's called The Bubble of Safety, an Oral History of Poinsettia Avenue, Compton, that surprised you as a long-term resident and student of the hub city?
I think the thing that surprised me the most is just how many people are fighting for Compton, because that's and I don't know if it's just a thing because I was too young and I didn't see it, or however else it was, but just if I went to Compton side, I was like, all right, cool. My mom was there, the streets aren't really that good and stuff like that. It is what it is, but that's not what Compton is. Compton isn't just family and bad infrastructure. It's so much more than that. It's community and culture here, Black community and culture here. People are fighting for it. People want to see each other succeed. People go out and they walk the streets and they can feel safe. People go out and they're looking for new places to build their businesses, new schools to go and take their kids to. People are at school board meetings. People are out town. People are at town hall meetings. This is a good city, and I feel like a lot of people have the stereotype that it isn't, and that can either come from media, that can come from prejudice, that can come from anything like that. But Compton is a good city.
Yeah, when you did your presentation, How was it received? And I'm putting it in the context of what you just said. People have a lot of ideas about Compton. It's become world famous to some degree because of the hip hop culture and movies and such. Was there pushback or people accepting of what you said? Was there a different understanding?
I think people were just surprised, and you know, like I'm not at that level of psychology if I can tell if that was a good surprise or a bad surprise. But like yeah, but like a lot of people were just like, we didn't know that's what Compton was. They, like, you know, people all the way up here said that, you know, people who aren't from SoCal or even the LA area, all they've heard about Compton, unless they did actual research on it, was that, you know, Compton has crime issues, Compton has bad infrastructure, Compton is predominantly black. That's like, those are the things that they hear, and so all three of those things come into tandem for what they think Compton is. But
yeah,
but like,
go ahead.
About I said, like, I was saying, but like, as I said, like, that's not what it is. And so, like, when I was giving them what Compton actually is, what the people are actually like, what it actually looks like, how it feels to live in the city, and so there's like, that sounds a lot better than like whatever our preconceived notions of Compton were.
Yeah, it's true of so many cities, and it's true of the media portrayal of so many places. We're talking with Guy Crawford. He's at Puget Sound University, but he grew up in Compton, sharing his research, his thoughts, his insights with us this morning. Get some final words on the city of Compton and the research of this young pastor in training when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power.
We're celebrating 1 year of the K. From checking out the vibrant art and diverse dining in Lamert Park to cheering on your favorite team in Inglewood, you can choose your own adventure when you ride the Metro K-Line. Leave the car at home and go Metro. Visit metro.net/K-Line.
Only 1 in 5 people with autism are employed, despite many having the skill set and desire to work.
Maybe it's because employers don't know what kind of jobs they can do. Like, what about a programmer?
That's a job for someone with autism.
How about a healthcare worker?
Yep, that is too. People with autism can do a lot of different jobs, but often get overlooked due to outdated stigmas. Introducing WIN by Autism Speaks. We help businesses lead the way in inclusive hiring.
What about a ranch hand?
To learn more, go to autismspeaks.org/win.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
That's what we were taught, service before self.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Boom, 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 boom. Nissan has a car for every driver who wants more. More action. More fun. More guts. More head turns. More adventure. More electric. At Nissan, more is all we do.
Heard any other talk radio lately that sounds anything like this? We didn't think so. You're listening to Unapologetically Progressive, KBLA Talk 1580.
Guy Crawford is our partner in politics today, our special guest, hour one. I'm hoping that in the months and weeks ahead, we'll hear from many more young voices. I think we listen to ourselves too much, those folks in the older generations, talking about young people rather than listening to them. So, Guy, I really appreciate you calling in this morning, being on with us, and making us aware of your piece, your presentation, your research. We do have a fan of yours on the phone before we get your final thought this morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Who is this?
This is I knew I was gonna get that reaction out of him. This is How are you this morning, Mr. Prima?
Hi, Mika. Congratulations on the success of your young person. What did you want to say to Guy this morning, Ms. Mika?
I love you. I am so very continuously proud of you and all of your endeavors. To God be all the glory. I am trying not to cry right now, but this child of mine, who is no longer a child, by the way, he is just my child, continues to impress me. Oh my God, he wants to save the whole world. So this God-fearing, God-giving heart that he has, it's just going to keep getting better.
What a beautiful thought and what a beautiful tribute. Thank you for saying that publicly, Mr. Crawford's mom.
Oh, goodness.
Didn't mean to embarrass you there. Crawford, but it's a beautiful moment.
Oh, wow. Well, that was great.
I'm glad you received
the radio station. He's like, no, Mom, don't do that.
Well, you've obviously, your family has done a great job being there for each other, and you have a wonderful young man, from what he says, 4. So that is amazing news, and thank you for sharing that with us this morning.
Wonderful. You guys have a beautiful and blessed day.
Absolutely. Guy Crawford, got a couple minutes left here. What would you want to share with us this morning? Pastor-to-be, sociologist, anthropologist, and researcher, what would you want to leave us with today?
2 things. One, community can get better. I don't know who's listening to this. I don't know where you're listening from, but like if you want to make improvements to your community, it takes you, and like that's the start, right? Like community doesn't just get better from outside intervention. Community doesn't just get better from the government deciding that it wants it to, because if anything, we've seen that like government kind of doesn't want a lot of Black communities to get better. It takes you, and it begins with you, and it begins with you, and it begins with you reaching out to other people, and more and more and more, and that's how community is built. So don't give up hope. Your city can get better, and it can always start with you.
That's a beautiful way to close out. Go ahead, Guy.
And 2, all glory be to Jesus. This entire project would not have been able to be done with him. I got so many great tools and assets out of this, whether that be skill-wise or anything like that. I'm very happy to have been able to do this, especially this talk show radio. But just like, to him be all the glory. He's the reason I do this. He loves me, and he loves all y'all. And I couldn't be more thankful for him and you guys for even giving me this opportunity. It's been amazing.
Absolutely. We're all the way out of time. Tell us how to track you and your projects.
You can always go to the University of Puget Sound website. There will always be our department is called SOAN. It's capital S, lowercase o, capital A, lowercase n. It stands for Sociology and Anthropology, since we're all one department.
Awesome.
There'll always be new updates, always be new posters, anything like that. Not only me, but the entire department, all of its professors and students in it.
Got to leave it there. Guy Crawford, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Yes, thank you for having me.
News, traffic, and sports. Then you, 800-920-1580, KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
We welcome you to a Thursday. It's October 12th. I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. In California, a San Francisco judge is signing off on a massive Facebook privacy settlement. The social media giant agreed to pay $725 million to settle claims that it violated users' privacy. This week, a judge overruled objections to the settlement and gave it his final approval. In Alabama, State Representative John Rogers is scheduled to appear in Birmingham Federal Court today for an arraignment hearing. The African-American Birmingham Democrat is charged with 2 counts of obstruction of justice in an indictment that accuses him and 2 others of taking part in an alleged kickback scheme involving state funding for a youth baseball league. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Wendy's new pumpkin spice frosty is peak fall. It'll make any kind of fall fun even fallier. So no matter how you fall, grab a rich, creamy pumpkin spice frosty from Wendy's today. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Vanilla frosty is temporarily unavailable.
Escape with the best stories of the year on Audible. Hear celebrity memoirs, mysteries, true crime, sci-fi, and more. Ignite your imagination with audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
It happened again. For the second straight year, the Dodgers win 100 games in the regular season, then get eliminated in their first playoff series. The Dodgers lose by 2 last night and got swept by the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Dodgers were also on the wrong end of history. Lance Lynn gave up 4 home runs in the 3rd inning, the first time a team had that many homers in 1 inning in a playoff game. Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman, the Dodgers' best hitters, were combined 1 for 21 in the series. Mookie was 0 for 11. The Pac-12 Conference had media day for the upcoming men's basketball season. Arizona, USC, and UCLA were picked to finish 1, 2, and 3, Richardson, on KBLA Talk 1580.
On October 12, 2022,